What's up, gang? Today we're reacting to The Rise of Nuisance Streamers, video by Blackie Speaks. Alright, let's see what this is all about. Let's go.
Now, streaming culture has officially gone mainstream, and is one of the most popular forms of content on the internet today. With names like HiSynat and iShowSpeed turning live streams into powerhouse brands, the concept of streaming is something almost everyone is familiar with by now. However, there's another type of streamer that most people are also familiar with, and it's not one who builds brands. These people build chaos instead. They're known for disruption and disrespect, and they're called nuisance streamers. Now, what exactly is a nuisance influencer / streamer? A nuisance streamer is someone who deliberately creates chaotic, disrespectful, or even illegal content to gain attention online.
Yeah, these guys just disturbing the peace, ruining public image, and just wrecking life for normal civilians just for the sake of streams. It's really sad to see.
They violate social terms, they cross boundaries, and they turn real life into a playground just for views. So it's essentially a term that describes a very specific kind of content creator, someone who makes a living off disruption, mostly through live streaming. A nuisance streamer. The goal for them isn't to create, it's to provoke. This new wave of content is becoming extremely popular, and the streamers are willing to ruin anything just for attention. And most of the people affected by these streamers are everyday people in foreign countries, just minding their business, who end up harassed, filmed, or exploited for views.
But I think we all know that all these nuisance streamer are very short-term content creators. There's no longevity in fucking other people's shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like you only see these guys, little clips of them, making a little mess on TikTok. They blow up for a week. In a month, they're gone. There's no longevity in it.
Nanguha ng sombrero ng isang gwardiya.
No, I have a question for you.
That right there is Vitaly. Some of you might remember him, the prank guy on YouTube who was extremely popular in the early 2010s. He got rich off of running up on strangers, faking fights, causing public scenes, and for a while it worked. He became famous. But now in 2025, well, let's just say that he's currently rotting in a Philippine prison. For what, you may ask? Well, a few months ago, Vitaly decided to live stream his trip to the Philippines. What he did once he got there ended up making international news.
When you show up here in the Philippines and you genuinely start like what happens behind the scenes?
You guys gotta be safe, especially when you're traveling across borders. You gotta know you're not in your country, and when you're not in your country, you have to follow the rules of the nation, especially when you're disrespecting another nation. It can be very sticky and very scary, especially when you're in a foreign prison. That's where things get really, really, really bad.
When you're interacting with people here and you're messing around with them, I know it's a joke to you, but for the people here, they work hard, bro.
On April 2nd, 2025, Vitaly was arrested in the Philippines after live streaming a string of wild, disrespectful stunts around Metro Manila. All of it was streamed live on the platform Kick. Vitaly was in Bonifacio Global City, a business district in the Philippines. He did a whole bunch of things, but to start off, he was seen threatening to rob a woman on camera.
Excuse me, madam, I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away.
After she refused to be a part of his vlog. In another clip, a mall security guard asked him to stop recording.
That's terrible, and especially in the Philippines too. They're such respectful, nice people. To be doing this, to be pulling this crap on them is so rad, so bad.
So Vitaly snatched the guard's hat and refused to give it back, mocking him in front of the stream.
No, yeah.
He also climbed onto the roof of a moving jeepney, a popular public transport vehicle in the Philippines, used by locals for everyday commuting.
You see? This is real Vitaly. Nothing is...
He also stole an electric fan from a restaurant and dragged it into a hotel. At one point, he also walked into a McDonald's, not to order food, but to go behind the counter, enter the kitchen.
So this guy's in jail? Nah, he's a menace to society, for real. With no pity for him, absolutely none.
And start cooking like he worked there, full on trespassing, all for content. Let's just say that he was being the...
And he's a foreigner too, so all these people are trying to talk to him and trying to tell him to stop. They're stunned. What can you speak to him, He doesn't understand you, you don't understand him. It's a bad position to be in.
Embodiment of the gum on the, bottom of my shoe. Now, eventually, Vitaly got what he asked for. In April 2025, the Philippine authorities stepped in and arrested him, putting an end to the circus. His reckless run was over, and he's now facing serious prison time. The story went viral, but the consequences...
So 24 years? Wow.
Didn't change a thing. In fact, things are only getting worse. Nuisance streamers are the new wave now. And the worst part, this type of content almost always comes at the expense of innocent people. Regular folks just living their lives, caught in the chaos of someone else's cloud chasing antics. And if there's one name that perfectly represents this new wave, it's this guy right here. Ramzi Khalid Ismail, also known as Johnny S, an American YouTuber who built his entire brand by going to places like Japan and South Korea, pulling out a camera, and doing whatever it took to go viral, even if that meant mocking entire cultures. He live streamed himself screaming racial slurs in public and being a menace in convenience stores. He also taunted locals and pushed situations until someone finally snapped, all while laughing.
These guys really ruin tourism for a lot of people, you know? Once they start seeing this is the way foreigners be acting, they be closing borders. I know in around, I think it was, where was it? Thailand, where like they're reducing the amount of foreigners just because of the amount of disturbance that's been happening and going around. It's really bad.
About it. While he was in South Korea, he took things to a whole new level by waving a dead fish on the subway. And on top of that, kissed a statue that honors Korean World War II SEX slaves, and decided to hold up a Japanese rising sun flag, a symbol deeply offensive to Koreans because of Japan's wartime past. However, these days he's not just a nuisance, he's actually on trial. Johnny S., real name Ramzi Khalid Ismail, has been barred from leaving South Korea. He's facing 7 criminal charges, including obstruction of business and violations of their Minor Offenses Act. But it doesn't stop there. At a second hearing in May, 2 more charges were added for allegedly creating pornographic deepfakes, which could land him over 10 years in prison if convicted. He pleaded guilty to the smaller charges and not guilty to the deepfake accusations. His next court date—
That's what I'm saying. In these foreign countries, they will try and find any way for you to stay in their prisons for time.
It is set for August 13th, 2025. Now, South Koreans are calling for a full crackdown, not just on Johnny, but on all foreign streamers who treat their countries like content playgrounds. I mean, what's up with foreigners going to these places thinking they can just run amok, disrespect the citizens, and then just fly back to America like nothing happened? A lot of these places, they just don't play. The laws are not only very strict, but once they get a hold of your ass, it's not gonna be a pretty sight, okay? Let's just put it like that. I don't know about you, but personally, I'd be furious if a bunch of cloud chasers came into my country, mocked my culture just for views. At the end of the day, this is not content, it's disrespect. And I think they all should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Now, the real question is, why are these people even popular, and who the hell watches this as entertainment? Well, speaking of the first question, I'm sure you know how the social media algorithms work by now. The more outrageous you are, the more people react, the more the algorithm pushes you. And the hate comments, shares, it doesn't really matter. It's all engagement, and engagement means reach. So when you have a streamer disrespect an entire culture on camera and it goes viral, at the end of the day they win, even if it's negative attention. That chaos turns into followers, subscribers, and donations. The system doesn't punish it, it rewards it. But here's the most important part. This behavior isn't just rewarded by the algorithms, it's rewarded by people. Most of these streamers don't
Goofy and lame, that's all it is.
just make money off of ads. They make a living through donations, live on air. And people donate not just to support, but to influence the content. They want to see the streamer do something wild, risky, disrespectful, something that'll entertain them. And when the streamer delivers, that donation becomes a reward. It's simply a constant feedback loop. The crazier the behavior, the more people donate. The more they donate, the more the streamer keeps pushing the line. And it turns into this twisted cycle where bad behavior is not only tolerated, it's literally funded by people. Most of us who either grew up on the internet or seeing how these platforms have changed understand that this type of cloud chasing has always existed to some extent. Streaming, on the other hand, is raw and unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen, and that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Now,
And the worst thing about it is that it's so live streamed and everything's on camera now that when you do get caught, it's as clear as day what you've done. You know what I mean? You're not hiding behind anything. It's not allegations, not what he says, not what she said. We're seeing it all in 4K.
whole nuisance streamers phenomenon is something that's actually getting studied. One research paper written in the Helsinki University gave it a name: degenerate streaming. Streamers who blow up by doing wild, reckless, sometimes flat out disgusting stuff in public. The researchers said these types of streamers are like modern day anti-heroes. They break all the rules, act out in public, and somehow still build a fan base by making themselves the villain. And here's where it gets deeper. The same study connected this behavior to what psychologists call the dark triad: narcissism, manipulation, and psychopathy. People who feel no guilt, no empathy, and treat every moment like it's just content. What a shocker. You know, the people who do this are closely connected to narcissism. I'm baffled. Now, the scariest aspect of this is
Exactly, because you don't have the amount of emotionless you must be, the amount of emotion that you can't feel just to go around and disturb random people, especially in these Asian countries, bro. I don't know if you've ever been or seen how these people act. They are so polite, so nice. So when you do this outrageous shit to them, it's such a shock upon them and their culture.
Actually people out there who enjoy watching others get humiliated in this way. So these fan bases feed off of this negative and toxic behavior. It's basically a way to condition an entire audience to view cruelty against human beings as content. And it's not like the streamers don't know they're crossing a line, they just don't care. It's sad because this whole wave has given real streamers a bad reputation. Streaming at its core is a way for a creator to bring an audience into their world. It's raw, unfiltered, and when done right, it's very powerful in a positive way. People actually entertain, bring energy, and spread something positive, deserve the spotlight. Because real streaming is about letting people see life through a lens they'll never get to wear themselves. IShowSpeed is a perfect example of what it means to do it the right way. He gets his fair share of criticism, sure, but you can't deny he exudes a positive aura wherever he goes. Yes, he's young, loud, and wild, but at the very least, it comes from a place of respect, curiosity, and a desire to bring people together. There's a kid-like joy to him that makes people feel included, not disrespected. And I think that's a loss.
Exactly. Speed is not one of these people, bro. Speed doesn't fuck with people. Speed makes communities, makes fun of people, and just, he behaves like a kid, He reminds you of what's it called, how you used to act when you were 8 years old, He's funny, he's fun.
Are in the live stream world today. Now everything is about chasing shock value by asking their chat, should I do a chat? And then doing it no matter how disrespectful it is. So pushing boundaries pays, and the streamers know that. But here's the thing, they also know where to go. Take Japan for example, a country known for its respect, order, and quiet harmony. Something they even have a word for, which is wa. It's a cultural principle built around peace, balance, and not disturbing others. So when a streamer shows up yelling in the streets, shoving cameras in people's faces, and mocking the locals, it's not just annoying, it's an attack on the very values that hold the society together. And that's exactly why Nuisance streamers...
I also believe home countries should have some responsibility. When you see one of your citizens from your country doing this dumb shit across borders, I believe they should have a right to take some accountability, get them deported, and actually, deal with them in their home countries, because this is not on, and it's a bad look on everyone.
Love going there, because they know even a little chaos in a place like Japan creates a massive contrast between their dysfunctional behavior and the environment they're around. This entire thing is actually starting to become a serious issue over there, and the locals, they're pretty fed up. These creators aren't just making content, they're disturbing public life, mocking the culture, and essentially turning peaceful cities into content farms. My personal theory on why this kind of live streaming has taken over, we're desensitized, as people, our dopamine receptors are so fried from non-stop stimulation that the only thing that really grabs our attention now is shock and chaos, which is something that makes us feel even if it's anger or disgust. And that's what a lot of these nuisance streamers feed on. They're not here to entertain, they're here to provoke. And the scariest part, it works. There's people making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this. So the incentive to do this and to keep doing this is so high, I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon. We've created a system where clout is more valuable than character. And until the consequences start outweighing the rewards, this wave of chaos is only gonna keep growing and keep getting worse. At some point, we gotta start making examples out of these people. All the people engaging in this behavior has to keep on facing the consequences to their actions. Because if they don't, they'll keep turning the world into a playground for their own ego, views, and content. Anyway, if you made it all the way till the end, drop a little like on this video, okay? My name is Blackie Speaks if you're new here.
Cool video. Good to be aware about this kind of stuff that's going on. And at the end of the day, these are all just attention seekers, guys. And the only way to deal with an attention seeker is just don't give them that attention that they're craving, Don't engage with their content. If you do see it, report it. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening. And it's just a bad look, Heal the world. Don't damage it. Alright guys, we made it to the end of the video once again. Thank you for watching it all the way through. If you enjoyed yourself, please drop a like and let me know what you think of the video. Please subscribe too. Right now we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please guys, please do me a favor and just subscribe. Love you guys. See ya.
Amen.